Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sunaina, and I'm back with another reading. This time it is for Sun Moon Rising Cancer for the month of July 2019. Happy birthday, Cancerians, and hope you have a wonderful year going forward from this July until next July, and of course, many Julys to come. Um, in the year 2019, guys, this is the time when, during this period before autumn, a lot of changes are happening for all zodiac signs, and you're no exception to the rule that I see here on my table, and I'll tell you why. It's a lot of awakening time for people who have just woken up. All zodiac signs in their own way are waking up. So, this time of the year is awakening time, guys, where people are just realizing that they have to do things, change things, make things happen in order to fulfill their own wish fulfillment. And this is happening for all zodiac signs this time of the year, and it's happening for you too, Cancer. Because at this moment, guys, you have two cards. One is a transmission card, and one is an inquiry card. Now, in your inquiry card, you have boundaries. Okay, so this is what it is, the boundaries. Now, boundaries, the question comes in here is, where do you need to establish better boundaries? Because you might have realized, Cancer, that over the years or over the time period that you have been working or you have been doing things, you have been very helpful to people because you are the deep water sign. You are sensitive, you are highly emotional, you are for people, kind of, a group of people that you would like to work for people you would like to, and you always extend your hands to help people. You have been doing that in your own way. Maybe not all the time monetarily, but in return for your kindness, your generosity, your overwhelming emotions, whatever that you have given to people for so long. But now the question comes from the 5D towards you, Cancer, is when people extend their hands to you. If you see this card, all the hands are floating towards you, asking something in return from you, Cancer. Now, the question over here is, where do you set your boundaries? How do you say no to people? Or where do you know how to cut off things? Or, just put a barrier over there? So, this is the question that has been asked to you from the universe, because you are being called in the month of July to create clearer boundaries in your life, because for so long you have been doing and giving, living life for other people more so than for yourself. Okay, so now is the time the universe wants you to put up the boundaries and clear boundaries, and this could be with your friends, family members, or even in your workplace, guys. Okay, which means that saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, and which is the biggest energy drain ever. So if you have, you don't want to do something but you're still saying yes, but in return what's happening to you, Cancer, is you're killing your own self, guys. You're draining your own energy because you are doing things against your wish. So, in the beginning, you have to learn to say no, which at first it might not only a little bit um, of a deal, but it might be a big deal, because before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are being left feeling depleted when you have to do this kind of a work, saying yes when you actually want to say no, guys. Okay, so you are doing that because you are kind of resentful towards that situation. You don't want to be there, and you know that you are being taken advantage of by somebody or some situation that is kind of not in your favor, but you know that. But even then, because you're a soft hearted person, you don't want to hurt people, you don't want to make them feel bad, But that when you're doing all that, at the same time, when you're saying a yes to a no in you, you are actually killing your own energy field, guys. Okay, and you're being taken advantage of. So now in the month of July, saying no and having clear boundary is will be and is your spiritual act, guys. Because the most giving, loving, compassionate people, remember this, the most loving, giving, compassionate people are those with the clear boundaries. Because when they say yes, they are able to give unconditionally. But you want to do that now. So, therefore, when you have to give somebody something, when you have to do something for someone, you have to learn to say a yes only when your mind and body and soul tells you that you need to do that. And that's when you will be able to deliver your gift unconditionally. Now, when your boundaries are clear, guys, others know where they stand with you and you're able to give them freely. Because right now, or before what has happened, is you have said a yes when you meant a no, and people were taking advantage, they were jumping over the fence to grab you, and that left you feeling very unhappy. So now, when you put your foot down and you say a no when you mean a no, or a yes when you know you mean a yes, that's when people will not be able to cross their boundaries with you, guys. Okay, so if you're not clear where your boundaries lies, this will create confusion, resentment, and energetic disturbance that can be planted in your field, guys. So you don't want to do that. Excuse me. So if you are saying yes when you really mean no, you are likely needing something for yourself, guys. Okay, so ask yourself what part of me needs something from them, because it's a gift, it's a return, it's a give and take situation. It could be a need for approval, or a fear of being seen in a certain way, or a fear of loss that you might, kind of feel that resentment towards. But then ask yourself, do you really fear that? Do you really need that approval? Do you really need that fear of loss in yourself? Because you are creating the boundaries for yourself, guys, okay? So, the best way to gauge your boundaries is to check in with your belly. And your belly is your second brain, guys. Okay? So it has an intelligence known as your gut feeling. So tune into that place or space when deciding what is good for you. How does it make you feel from within the gut of yourself? And what is it trying to communicate with you? So take the help of your gut instinct, guys, at this point in time, because your gut will never lie to you. Your brain sometimes can confuse you, but your body will tell you, will react, and will let you know what it is and how you should explore that situation of saying a yes or a no. Because if you want to say a yes, your gut will say yes to it. If you want to say a no, your gut will say no to it, guys. So hear that gut instinct or use that in the month of July 2019. The next card you have is Lemuria, which is telling you creating heaven on earth. It's happening to you, Cancer. In the month of July, it's starting off. Okay. Now, let me tell you, Lemuria is one of the earth's lost land where heaven really was a place on earth, wherever, whenever that was, guys. Okay. Now, a time before we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden in Lemuria, life worked in harmony, all beings were seen as equal, and we were deeply reverent to Mother Earth. So, this was before everything else happened, when the world and the planet started to flourish. This was the land where heaven was on earth, which is Lemuria. So we knew that, every living being, however small, it could be a mosquito, A mosquito was no worse to us than the sun. So everything was in harmony. Everything was so beautifully balanced, guys, okay? Now, perhaps, Cancers, in the month of July, you too believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. Now, perhaps that is what your destiny is. In starting off in July, perhaps you're a part of this transition team who, at a very deep soul level, are devoted to creating this kind of harmony on the planet now. You're bringing back heaven on earth, guys, Cancers, okay? So, and the universe wants to thank you for this, for doing this, for knowing this, for wanting to be a part of that soul team who wants to make this happen, guys. Now, again, when you are doing this in the 3D, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the state of affairs on the planet right now, but you are being encouraged to keep holding the clear vision of the future, and it is closer to you than you think it really is, guys. Your heaven is at your doorstep. It's up to you to keep holding on to your strength. And you may be guided to hold the frequency of this heaven on earth in your community, in your own family, in your workplace, or within yourself, Cancer. Because you know it is possible, and while at times you may feel like you're alone, you are truly not alone because you are doing a big job for which the universe wants to say a big thank you, guys. Okay? Now, sorry, excuse me, knowing it is possible, and while at times it may feel like you're alone, you're not. Take it from me, okay? Now, there are thousands and hundreds of people who hold the codes of this ancient lost land, and even Lemuria crystals that hold the codes of remembering that you are beginning to rise all over the planet. People are going to see you, people will know you, people will adore you, people will worship you for who you are. So keep doing what you are doing, and remember, the only way to heal the world around us is to first heal ourselves, Cancer. And that is exactly your card in here, with your goddess guidance in here, which is Ma Kali, who is telling you the old must be released so that the new can enter your life. In the month of July, you're changing, you're ending and beginning. The old cycle is gone. You're creating the boundaries, you're creating heaven on earth. You're changing the old patterns of knowing the old Cancer or Cancerian that you were. You are bringing in the new Cancer, and again, your major arcana is the star, guys. You are healing. You are healing because this is the time of the year in the month of July when you want to do things in the right possible way, to keep things in balance, to provide harmony, to do stuff for people, but knowing where to stop and where to start, and also to retain a complete balance of discipline, honesty, truth, integrity in yourself. That is going to be a spiritual act of healing in the month of July 2019, Cancer. Wonderful energies, guys. You'll deserve it. You definitely deserve it. Now look at your grounding energy. You're grounded with the earth, the three of earth or the three of pentacles. And the bottom of the same deck is your high priestess, guys, which is telling me in your grounding energy, again, you have set your boundaries. Okay? When you're working with your team, family, friends, colleagues, workplace, romantically, professionally, whatever the situation, where you want to build that story, where you want to create that harmony, where you want that collaborated effort, where you want to take that teamwork forward to, build that beautiful commitment of your relationship, whether it's professional or personal or romantic, doesn't matter. But at the same point in time, you have the high priestess who is coming to you or is giving you guidance to let you know that it's time for you to hear your gut instinct. Okay? So, whatever the boundaries that you are going to, if you have to say a yes to this teamwork, say yes to it only if you know from your intuitive self, from your high priestess, from your gut instinct. If you have to say a yes, go through your intuitions first. Learn to hear your gut instinct. Feel the reactions in your body, your nerves, your brain will tell you what it is the right thing to do, or take her help. She is here to help you to be guided in the right direction, to know the fine line that you are traveling between the conscious and the subconscious, the forces of nature on one side and civilization on the other side. And she is a bit of a magician as well. So she will tell you, if you have to tell her that this is my problem, please help me. She is here to help you, Cancer. Your gut instinct is here to help you. Your intuition or your intuitive self is here to help you. And only when you feel that you can do this, that's when you are going to say a yes, or you have to say a no, whatever it is. But you are not going to rush into it in the month of July, but you are going to take your time to decide whether you really want this team effort, excuse me, whether you really want this commitment to or this relationship to build towards you. But at the same time, guys, you definitely have her, you have your boundaries in place, you have Makali, you have the star card, and you have the heaven on earth. So you don't have to fear anything. Just be bold, just be you in your own self. Don't drain your energy for others, but do what you have to do only if your intuition tells you, yes, it is right or it is wrong. Say a yes or a no based on this lady in here. This magician, this high priestess, the person who has gone through her entire journey of the light and the dark, and she is here to intuitively guide you in the right direction, whereas you have boundaries in here, which your gut instinct will again guide you in the right direction as your grounding energy, guys. Let me take a clarifier for the three of earth and the high priestess in here. It's like, Cancer. It's like I have it, I have everything in my zone. In the month of July, I don't have to fear anything. I have to do what I have to do to leave everything behind, to walk away from the three dented cups, to move forward in order for my own happiness, my own legacy, my own fulfillment of the Ten of Pentacles. So, which is where other people who want anything from me will either have to be a part of this give and take relationship, or else I'll have to say a no, because I'm not going to drain my energy to satisfy anybody else anymore now, Cancer. That's your standpoint. It's your grounding energy for the month of July 2019, guys. Okay. Now, your overall self energy in this period is patience, guys. You have a lot of patience and you're still holding on to your patience. You know you're working slowly like a turtle, like a crab, maybe. You have the deep water sign that is kind of blessing you as well. So you are patient. You are not rushing through. You are taking the high priestess in yourself. You are taking Makadi in yourself. You're taking the star in yourself. So you are like, okay, I don't have to rush. I'm good. I'm happy, and whatever has to come into my zone will come. And if I want to welcome that, if I see that it is good for me, I will definitely keep it, or else I will let it go. So you have that patience. You are holding on to your patience. You're not rushing forward. You're not jumping and crossing any fences, but you are building your own fence in where within the fence you are sitting patiently, holding on to your strength, to your gut instinct, to your intuition to work in the right direction, guys. Okay, let me take a clarifier for the patience card in here, and that's where you are. There you are. You are waiting for the truth, for the clarity, and for the beautiful sword of wisdom that you are holding within yourself in the month of July 2019, the Ace of Sword, guys, and it's a very powerful sword. It's a mental energy because it's a sword, okay, but at the same time, your patience is coming from your mental strength, guys, Cancer. So that is where your mental strength is has so much flourished that you had a mental clarity, a breakthrough in yourself in the month of July, which is again building your clarity and your sharp mind, your intelligence, everything, your honesty, your decency. You know what you want when you have to say a yes, when you have to say a no. And if you don't like something, you have the sword to cut it off, guys. Use it in the right direction. Don't abuse it, please. But at the same time, your patience is coming from your mental clarity, guys. That's giving you patience, that's giving you the strength, that's giving you everything that you want at this point in the month of July 2019, ladies and gentlemen. And that's giving you the strength to move away from difficult situations, to pick the two cups behind you, and to walk towards your own fulfillment, the Ten of Pentacles, the success story with the High Priestess, and you have the clarity to know that she is here with you in the month of July 2019. Now, what you are leaving behind is again very earthy energy, guys. It could relate to a Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo sign too. The Eight of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, guys. Okay, very earthy energies. So, what you are leaving behind is your that you were holding on to for a long time that you wanted to build. It could be a teamwork, again, because it's coming below the Tree of Earth. So, you were kind of in that frame of mind that you want this Eight of Earth, you want to start building this. You were putting in a lot of effort to build either your work situation, it could be your work situation, or it could have been your love situation, or it could have been your finances, anything that you were working or you had thought of working, your emotions, your psychological emotions, everything, take in whatever way it resonates with you. You had that feeling that, you had to build that back. But now, in the month of July, you don't want to do that. You don't want to put in that extra effort. You have that lack of passion to build something. You are uninspired to walk in that direction, and you have no motivation to say a yes to the building blocks to start this work because you might have known or that you have already done this before, and in the month of July going forward, you don't want to be the apprentice anymore, and you don't have any desire to work towards something that you probably think is not going to work for you, guys. You have put in your efforts before. It could be that you have put in your efforts before and the rewards was a big time disappointment. So now you don't want to do this anymore. You don't want to be greedy for that building of that. You are not being tied, you're not being possessive about that area of your life where once you probably thought that you might want to kind of give your energy towards building a situation, towards building a team, towards building a collaborated effort. But right now, in the month of July, you are not possessive about it. You don't want to be possessive about it, even though, you might feel that possessiveness with you. And when that happens, please look for the High Priestess in here because this card comes under the High Priestess, guys. Okay, now, so the Three of Earth, in which means that if somebody is coming to you with a proposal to build a teamwork, it could be work related, it could be a romantic situation, it could be a personal situation, anything, it could be a financial investment that somebody is looking to start with you. But whatever the situation that they're coming forward with, a proposal, you are not inspired, because at this point in time you have the high priestess with you. You don't want to start anything. You are putting up a boundary right now for yourself, and at the same point in time you are asking help from the high priestess to guide you in the right direction, which will not make you greedy again to go back into the same faulty situation that you probably had met with before, because you were greedy to build, you were greedy to start working, you were greedy for that teamwork commitment because you were scared, you were in the fear of loss, you were thinking that you would be alone, if you don't work with people. But right now, no, you are calling your gut instinct, you're calling for your intuitive self to guide you in the right direction, which, if at all you have to go forward with something or somebody, your gut instinct should tell you whether it's a yes or a no. Your high priestess should tell you whether it's a yes or a no, because you don't want to be greedy for this anymore. Even though if you feel that greediness step into your zone, please look after that. And that is what you are leaving behind, because you don't want to repeat your mistakes ever again, Cancer. Okay, and that's what you are leaving behind in the month of July 2019. Let's look for a clarifier for the 8 of Earth in the reverse and the 4 of Earth in the reverse. So, yes, so you will, if you have to build a teamwork, if you are going towards a commitment of marriage, relationship, whatever, or an investment with somebody, collaboration with somebody with regards to your joint ventures, but at the same point in time, if you feel that you are not inspired enough to do that, if your gut doesn't agree with that, and you still feel greedy towards it, call for help, guys. Don't get tempted. Okay, don't get tempted, because you have everything in your zone, and don't repeat that mistake. And that is what you are leaving behind, and you're taking the help of your high priestess in the month of July 2019. And that's the King of Wands, guys, in here as your clarifier. In here, a fire sign here. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, a fire sign that you are leaving behind for reasons of your own, where you want to still keep in touch with regards to the earth sign, but at the same time, you know, you want to keep your intentions very clear. You don't want any goof ups anymore. You want to take things in the right direction. With the King of Wands being in here, it completely changes the overall picture of yourself, guys. What you are leaving behind and what you are holding on is a completely big picture of yourself. You are looking at the big picture. Okay, on a long term point of view, is this going to work for me? Is this collaboration going to work for me? In the long term, going forward, what am I looking at? Okay, you're overcoming the challenges of leaving this greed behind, guys. Okay, of leaving that possessiveness, of leaving that kind of clutching on to this building block that you wanted to start with somebody, but or someone or in your work field, but at this moment you're overcoming those challenges. You are the leader. You know that you can carry yourself because you have everybody blessing you throughout the month of July. So you don't want to be doing all that what did not serve you before. So you're looking at the bigger picture as a leader with the King of Wands energy in here. It's a beautiful energy that is helping you to leave those things behind and walk in the right direction, guys. Okay. Now, what you're continuing to do is the Queen of Wands in the reverse. You have the King and the Queen, guys, in here. And the Six of Air in the reverse, the Six of Swords. Okay, so both these cards. Now, what you're continuing to do with these two cards in here, ladies and gentlemen, is you are letting go of your selfishness, like, looking at the bigger picture in here, letting go of your greed, your possessiveness, your selfishness in here, your jealousy, or your insecurity. You are putting a finish sign over those emotional baggages that was kind of harming you at one point in time, guys. To move forward, you're continuing to kill that energy because it's a mental energy with the six of air or the six of sword, but at the same time, it was all in your mental state where you were feeling insecure that if I don't hold on to this particular person, or this particular work, or this particular finance, or this particular relationship, or this particular team, I would be left alone, I would be insecure, I would be a very unhappy person. But right now, in the month of July, you are clearing that. You're clearing that emotional baggage. You are letting go of those kind of insecurities that was disturbing your state of mind. You were not happy with it. It was giving you trouble. So you're putting an end to all the emotional baggages of fear, of insecurity, of jealousy, of possessiveness, of greed for something that you knew, probably wouldn't have made you completely happy. So you knew that subconsciously, but again, consciously you were trying to do that. You were trying to work towards it. You were not with a bad intention, guys. Not with a bad intention. It was with good intention. But the result that came out of that good intention was not a good one. So now you're letting all that go, guys. Let me get a clarifier for the Queen of Wand in the reverse and the six of air in the reverse, and you're building yourself towards your own future with the page of cups. You are putting an end to all the wrong stuff, Cancer, and you will say a yes to things only when somebody offers you back something in return that is going to surprise you. And that's when you will move towards this commitment, towards this relationship, towards this team, towards whatever that is sitting in your zone, towards this joint venture, project, business, whatever. But before that, you're clearing yourself and you're going to wait till somebody comes up with this cup, that's filled with, in the beginning, it's a beginning stage. But you're going to wait for that. You're going to wait till somebody surprises you with their gift, with their blessing, with their emotion, or with their words, or with their actions. That will indeed be a surprise to you. But at this point in time, you are continuing to wait with patience, holding your ace of sword, but at the same time, you're doing your work, what you have to do, guys. Okay? Now, going forward, 10 of air, that's 10 of sword, that's entering your zone, guys. Okay? Which is again a mental energy of trouble, of anxiety, of feeling stressed out, burdened with a lot of things, because somewhere you are also killing the old to begin the new. So it's going to definitely take a mental stress. The story will be a little bit of mental issues here. Stress, burden, feeling overworked because you are doing a lot of work this month, July. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Okay, let's take a clarifier for the 10 of air in here or the 10 of sword. It's again in the head, guys. It's in the head energy and the King of Pentacles. So the 10 of air is happening to you because, like I told you, you are killing the old to begin the new. So the 10 is the last stage when you want to start something. And how do you want to look at yourself going forward after you have finished off with that mental energy of anxiety, stress, burnt out, burden, overworked, overload, because you are reaching the King of Pentacles who has everything in their zone. Finances, love, money, security, prosperity, abundance, and fulfillment, guys. That's heaven on earth. And he is the person, a very masculine energy Cancer, who is the person who is capable of building the Lemuria or heaven on earth. Okay, because he is the protector of his kingdom. He is the person who can protect other people. But at the same time, this person knows where to end the story now and to begin fresh again. He can be your provider, Cancer. You can be your own protector. You can again protect people. But again, you have to know where to draw the boundaries, when to say a yes, when to say a no, because you have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, but you have the King of Pentacle upright, which is telling me that the King of Pentacle is going to come to you. Definitely he is walking into your zone, but he is walking because he wants you to be happy, to be prosperous, to be fulfilled, leaving behind all the dead energies, all the toxicity, all the negative vibrations, frequency, to heal yourself, to bring back everything that you have in yourself, guys. The challenge is the Nine of Water or the Nine of Cups in the reverse. That's your wish fulfillment, guys. Okay, so that's your challenge. You're looking at the wish because you wish for a lot of things. Everybody wishes for that. But again, your challenge is to work through your lack of inner joy, to work through your lack of dissatisfaction, through lack of satisfaction because you are dissatisfied with the way things are going. There is smugness in your zone, and you have to heal that, you have to overcome that, but that's your challenge, guys. So let's look for a clarifier here, because a lot of things you are working towards, at this point in time, which is definitely, again, you're trying to rest, you're trying to contemplate because you want your Ace of Cups to be filled with love, joy, emotions. But at this moment, there is a lack of inner joy, which is not filling your cup in the month of July, which is giving you dissatisfied kind of energy, which is again pulling you down a little bit. But your challenge will be to override this and work for yourself, because you have a bigger job to do in the month of July. Remember that, Cancer, guys. Okay. Now, where do you find your support? Is in the Page of Air. Again, mental energy, but it's in the reverse, guys. That's a Page of Sword in the reverse. So what it is that you will find your support when you understand how people have deceived you in the past, because you will go back and forth, guys. Okay, in during the month of July, you will get your support from the other part of your story, is when you learn to accept the fact that somebody had taken you for a ride, somebody had deceived you with their manipulative talks, with their manipulative actions, knowing it clearly, being able to see the way they had behaved with you in the past, guys. Okay, so that's going to bring your patience, that's going to kill your 10 of Sword energy, that's going to bring back your King of Pentacles, that's going to hold your Ace of Sword in place, guys. And that's where, again, you are clearing your emotional baggage, pushing away the jealousies, insecurities, and you're waiting for whosoever had done this injustice to you should come back and offer you the cup before you can take his or her's word to move forward, to build a teamwork or to build a commitment, because here you're setting up boundaries to create your own heaven on earth, because you have it all, guys. You're closing the old chapter that this person or your work situation or your boss or your fiance or somebody, your family member, the way they had deceived you in the past, the way they had taken, because you didn't have the boundary, you had freely given everything, so they had taken advantage of that, of yourself, of your goodness, and they had manipulated you in a way. And when you go back and forth to check that energy, you will get acceptance of the fact that now it's the time for you to work towards your own healing part, Cancer. Okay, that's where you will find your support. Let's take a clarifier for the Page of Air or the Page of Sword energy in the reverse. You will know for yourself how things have worked for you in the past and how things are going to work for you from the month of July 2019. Please give me a clarifier for the Page of Air or the Page of Sword in the reverse. But you will know it, Cancer, because you're highly intuitive now. You have always been intuitive, but now in the month of July, you have the High Priestess sitting right beside you, holding your hand. There are too many cards. So you don't have to worry about it. You have things in your zone in the right direction, and that's where you will find your support. When you think about this, when you know that this has happened for a reason, it's time to expand your vision and look into the future, guys. Wait for your ships to come into the harbor, and that is the wisdom that you are getting from the Four of Cups in the reverse, from the universe, that your vision, your ships are about to sail into the harbor. You just have to hold on to your strength and to your intuition, to your patience, to your courage, because you will be able to look forward and envision, make big plans. And that's where you will find your support, because you will know that whosoever had deceived you or whosoever had manipulated you will have to come back towards you, because you are the person holding the Three of Wands who has that capacity to expand and move forward in the right direction with their wisdom and their intuition, guys. Okay. Now, my spirit's support is telling you, my spirit's advice is the King of Air or the King of Sword energy, guys, which is again emotions over logic. I mean, sorry, what did I say? Logic over emotions, guys. Okay. So now forward, going forward, Cancer, your head over your heart. Okay. You are a very emotional person, so it's very difficult for you to absorb this energy of the King of Sword. But at the same point in time, guys, it's a very essential thing to maintain that discipline, the boundary, because you are doing a lot of work. You want the truth, you will tell the truth, you will hear the truth, and you have affirmed yourself in the direction of being the judge, the lawyer, King Solomon, who has complete control over their emotions to use their rationality and their logic in the right possible ways. That's where my spirit advises you to take the help of this masculine energy of the King of Swords, to say a yes to a yes if your gut tells you, to say a no to a no if your gut tells you. Create your boundaries, end and begin the cycle to heal yourself. You don't want to drain your emotions anymore. You want to use your logic, your rational, to give you the clear and the brighter picture of what you are going to start off in the month of July moving ahead in the next many years to come, guys. Let's take a clarifier for the King of Air or the King of Swords. Yeah. And again, you know, crossroads might come up in here, because your head over your heart decisions will kill you, guys, will give you trouble. Okay, that's where the 10 of Air is now. Okay, it's definitely going to give you a hard time, because you will have that, whether should I say a yes, whether should I say a no, what will happen to me, blah, 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 because your emotions are going to again step in when you want to use your mind. But that's where the problem is. But at the same time, you have to forgive people. You have to let go of the lingering resentment. If whosoever had done their work with you, their wrong kind of doings with you, but again, you're at a crossroad here of which emotion you should use in order to forgive and forget, in order to overcome that lingering resentment, and whether you should do it at all or whether you shouldn't do it. It's a very airy energy with the sword in here. But again, it's all in the mind, guys. But you will find your support in the King of Swords when you take your call or your decisions from your head, not from your heart, in the month of July 2019, ladies and gentlemen. And look at your outcome, guys. It's got the 8 of water and the 5 of air in here, both in the upright, which is telling me that you're moving away to find your ninth cup of happiness, because now the 5 of swords is all about victory. It's all about victory. So you're moving away from difficult situations in the month of July towards the end of July to be victorious in your effort to build that, the heaven on earth, to end and begin the cycle of your own chapter, of your own story, to create boundaries, to know where to stop, where to start, to forgive things, to expand your vision, to be the King of Pentacles, to bring back the 10 of Pentacles, to fill your Ace of Cups. That's your ninth cup in here, the Ace in here, that's your ninth cup. That's what you're walking towards in here, away from all the difficult situations, to hold your patience and your sword of truth, to look at the bigger picture in life, to know overcoming challenges and waiting for that offer to come to you, which again you are ready to accept only if your gut instinct and your intuition tells you a yes instead of a no, guys. Okay, so that's your outcome. You want to be victorious. You're walking away to find your ninth cup, which was a challenge to you in the month of July, but now you're going to be doing it. Let's take a clarifier for your outcome in here, Cancer, with the 8 of air and the 5 of air in here. It's a beautiful outcome because you have finally realized towards the end of the month of July that your own wish fulfillment matters much more to you than anything else, and the moon card in the reverse, that your intuitive self is letting you know that it's time to leave whatever had been troubling you, to leave the confusion behind, to leave the fear behind, to leave the misinterpretation behind, to walk forward towards your own victory, to find your ninth cup of happiness, to get into your own success zone, your own success story, Cancer, and know who you are, to heal yourself once again in the month of July, your birthday month. Happy birthday once again, Cancer. It was a wonderful reading for you guys. Until then, take care. God bless you. Goodbye. Khuda Hafiz and Namaste.